All right, what is going on, everyone, and welcome back to the Elder Scrolls Online. So, we are going to be starting our Season 2 of Can I Solo. This was started 7 years ago, and I'll leave a link in the description to the playlist of me basically soloing dungeons because I thought I could. And yeah, so 7 years later, obviously the meta shifts and a lot of other stuff changes. And I felt like, it would be a good time to start this over again. Also because every now and then I go into forums and see people are like, oh, is PvE endgame hard to get into? And the answer is no, not really. So you just like LFG, look for group, party finder, guild finder, find people to play with. It's actually really easy to just connect with people who do the same activities you do in this game. So I wanted to do a little spin of like all of this. Obviously, dungeons are 4-man content and usually better with the group. So yeah, 7 years ago I did this. And recently we have an ongoing series called Can I Duo with one of my friends, Avron, and she also streams ESO as well. So yeah, just wanted to see how well I could test myself once again, obviously using different gear. Meta changed and everything. So I think I'm going to be playing it on a Sorc this time around. Well, I did that last time, but Sorc is just the best overall class, not like top or bottom. They're just like a very balanced for, especially if you're trying something like a gimmick run of solo dungeons. They just have the best balance of survivability, like offensive and defensive and utilities. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Probably going to try out a few different sets when we go in. So what I'm using now is, let me pull this up. Basically, the good old classic Oaken Soul Sorc. I think this is just, if you're going to solo something, that's probably going to be the one, or you could use Pale Order. But we're going to be trying out the Infallible and Surgeon. The other option I thought of using was Deadly. And just because it's like increase the damage of your damage over time and channeled, which is your heavy attacks, by 15%. So it's a little bit different. I might try it out and test it to see which ones do more and which one's just overall better. But why is that powered? I don't know. Okay, we're gonna have to change that. But anyway, yeah. So to give you an idea, how are we gonna do this? This is my like normal completion. We've done all of these things over the years. Veteran, hard mode, speed runs, no deaths. I'm still working with my group and cleaning up the rest of the trifectas. So for the most part, I have a very good understanding of every single dungeon and how we can do it. Some of them might not be soloable just because mechanics and I can't solo it. But I was wondering, should I bring a companion? Last time, 7 years ago, companions didn't even exist, but I'm gonna try it. So anyway, what are we gonna do? What food do we use? I use the purple food, and it's just max health and magicka. So this one's all good. I think people can also use the Bewitched Sugar Skulls. That's a tri-stat food. But yeah, it's like 4,600 health and 42 magic. But this one's slightly more magic, and should overall be slightly more damage. But anyway, how are we gonna do this? In no particular order. I guess we'll just go down the list in order of all these, and then go do the ones, and then the twos, and then the separate ones, and then crack into the DLCs. So I think most of these should be doable solo, especially because I've done them all. Some of them might not be just because of mechanics, but anyway. Every episode, what I want to do is 2 base game dungeons and 1 DLC. So we'll just go down the list of all of this, and then hopefully you guys can learn this as well. So, Fungal 1. This is probably the easiest dungeon in the game. Entry level. There's a lot of them I think I could do on Vet as well, but for the sake of time and everything, it's probably more exciting to watch me do the Can I Duo with a friend. And we do all those on Vet as well. But for the sake of soloing and time, let's see if we can do this. So Yeah, let's see. All right. So skills. What am I gonna use? You could either use a shield for more defensives. You could also use crit surge, which I think is very good. I use Daedric Prey because I have 2 pets and unstable Wall of Storms for, like, you know, AoE dot damage, and the Twilight Matriarch instead of the other morph, just because this one will heal you, and I'm gonna be soloing obviously, so like more heals always good kind of thing, you know. All right. Anyway, so I'm gonna bring a companion. 7 years ago, these did not exist, so my companions are not, you know, super well geared at all. It's just kind of whatever I found over the years in time, so don't expect anything outstanding. In fact, let me actually just check, what do I even have? What? All right, so I have purple gear. It's and default no stat gear. Very cool. So these aren't even in the right traits. These aren't even anything good. Like, I think this companion, I was just trying to get it to level 20 and then it's gone. This is supposed to be like a DPS healer, apparently. That's how much I pay attention to them. So anyway, let's go on. And then my ultimate is the Atromorph. We chose the AoE version, just because I think I also use this AoE version in trials as well, like real content and stuff. So yeah, one thing that made me want to do this as well was mostly just like because a lot of new people come into MMOs regularly, and I just wanted to prove that, like, these aren't like scary to get into endgame. So yeah, there's even a random roulette queue basically that you could do every day, and then it's good for leveling up characters as well. I'll show you after this boss. This is gonna be a little bit scuffed because obviously there's no tank, and I am literally the tank. Companion ability gained. So yeah, this is what it is, the dungeon finder. You can just join the queue and look LFG for it. Did it hit level 20? No, he just got a new skill. Okay, cool, whatever. So for most of the dungeons, I'll try to explain boss mechanics as well. But for Fungal 1, is literally like, this is the most entry-level dungeon. Like, I think this is the first one everyone will be doing when they first get into dungeons eventually. So that, or Banished sells one, because you unlock dungeons by level these days, and you know, the higher level, the harder the dungeons are in theory. But yeah, okay, so this boss right here, essentially what he does is he does an AoE. You just block, roll out of this banner, red bad, or in this case pink, and then block a lot of stuff, and you know, drop your ult, block this, unavoidable. Usually in a full group, you have a tank, but in this case, I am the tank, DPS, and the healer. Just block the heavies. That's really the only big thing. I'm convinced, like, you can even do this, like, a lot of these base game dungeons I could solo, or not so, well, like solo probably on bet as well, but you know, it would just take like double the time. Then you would like do the quest around there and then just move on. I wonder if by the end of next year I could hit 3600 CP, which is the current cap. So usually what people do in like when you're doing it with other people, you can jump down this waterfall, and what this does is allows you to skip like the boss down there, and you can skip the crab over there, But I'm just gonna do the crab one, even though you don't particularly need to. If I remember how to get up, I think it's over here. Didn't even follow. Let's see, if I dragged it over here, okay, the pet will... Scamp followed, Twilight did not. I don't want to pop my ult just because the boss is like right there.
You weren't keeping score, were you? Me neither.
Fungal 1, this is the final boss. That was a heavy. When you see the yellow sparks on hard mode, that's a one-shot bullet, or DPS, most likely a one-shot. Just watch for the yellow spark. Like that. It's a heavy. You block it. Move out of the bed. Fungal 1 down. That's the final boss.
By the ebony blade, this is it. We found the shrine.
Next dungeon. Oh. Next dungeon. Let's do Banished Cells. This is also an entry level one. I guess these are filtered by order. So, like, these are the first ones you would unlock at level 10, and then going up into, like, as you level up, you get new dungeons, and then you get these later on. But either way, let's do Banished Cells 1. They're going to get progressively harder, so I hope you guys enjoy the series so far. And, yeah, I think this is a good test to see where I'm at. I could probably do this faster on like an Arcanist, but I think just Sorc is just overall balance for utility and everything. Okay, let's go. So if you're like a new player wondering how do I play this build, Oaken Soul is literally hold left click, and every now and then just keep up your dot timers for like heals and everything. But for these early ones, I don't really even, I'm gonna be honest, I don't even think I really need crit surge for like these early dungeons. I just have it slotted just in case. I probably could slot more damage, and probably should. If you're on the quest doing it for the first time, you go down to right hall and then you do the mini boss over here. If you aren't, you just go down to left hall and
Let's see what you're made of.
skip it. Press these buttons, just two of them. Each button does like a different wave of enemies.
Damn, I'm glad I'm on your side.
So now we're going into the boss.
You should have run.
You're probably like, why do you have two enemy health bars on your screen? Honestly, the one on the right is more for like trials, so I know when mechanics are happening. It's really for harder content, but like I'm just too lazy. I don't really even look at it when I'm not doing trials and stuff, but I think it's just nice to have. Once again, another mini boss over there if you're on the quest first time doing that. Otherwise, go down.
Better than us. You're dead.
Twice. That mechanic for that boss is literally don't stand in fire, kill the boss. You see me turning around a lot just to like hit them. That's just because I know what I'm doing. Most people just look ahead.
Let's knock some heads.
Picking up a lot from you lately. It's paying off.
Ooh. Sharp leveled up. You got to 20. Let's go.
Let's hear it.
Wait. What are you doing?
Need something.
Not swap in combat. Okay.
Move it.
Is that you, Sidious? I'm going to enjoy it.
So the mechanics for this boss is basically he puts a lot of puddles on the ground. Don't stand in it. He does a heavy, and these orbs, if they touch the boss, basically it heals him. And then he tosses a orb that knocks you down. Usually the tank covers that. I didn't block it. Block heavy. I saw that coming and I was like, I just need it. So puddles are going on the ground, just kite those. Block heavy. I was holding, wasn't I? Is he gonna toss the thing again? Cool. Number 2 down.
You think you've beaten me? How amusing.
I'm gonna swap my companion out just because this got to 20 already. So let me put his ult on and then we'll swap it out. Cool. Bye bye, Sharp. Who's next? What level is my Azandar?
An opportunity for
What in the world? Gain the favor of Azandar. This is already done. Maybe it was just an achievement or something that. All right, he was done. Isabel and Miri, I think, are both level 20. So Bastion, I know he's not level 20. Let's see. I don't even think I geared him. Oh, I did. He has purple quickened. So I think I wanted him to be. Apparently he's a tank. All right, let me just change some of his skills. So do I want him to be a tank? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyway, next. So every episode, I want to do at least one DLC. Okay. So what do we want to do? I guess we could just go down the list. White gold is kind of a long one, but you know, for the sake of let's do it.
My patience grows thin.
I remember when
We've
the
had
Imperial
our
City
visits, but
first
when
came
have
out,
we ever
the first
known
expansion
you
in ESO. I was playing it day 1. I tried doing these dungeons. They were hard. Nowadays, they just kind of, they're just a breeze to do, easy. It's still like a long dungeon. It's just, it's not difficult to do. I don't think anything can stop, like, I don't think there's any stoppers for solo players here. So if you're doing like trifectas and everything where you have to kill everything, I don't think white gold counts for trifectas because it doesn't have one. One thing you could do to skip everything is you go down the back path over here, and then you could just crouch and run through all this stuff, and you skip all the ads over here. Holy, that hurt. Okay, so this first boss is kind of the most annoying one. Okay, apparently Bastion decided you just want to aggro everything. Bastion, just come over here, buddy.
I'm getting my ass kicked.
I don't care. Come over here. Companions are like, sometimes they're helpful. Sometimes they just pull everything when you're trying to do a skip. So this one is actually something that's like anti-Sorc, right? So this fight is Daedric and enemies, right? And so when the boss dies, it basically cleanses anything that's Daedric, which means Sorc pets as well. This just hasn't been fixed in years, so to the point where I don't think it's ever going to get fixed. It's not even a big deal to the point where anyone complains about it. So the mechanics for this fight is basically you dodge these waves, and then if the fight goes on too long, one person gets sent into a cage, and you have to basically cleanse it or like lockpick it.
I find you guilty, and the sentence is fire everlasting.
I was a little bit worried for a second. I thought it would reset the boss fight because usually one person has to be in the arena and cage does not count. So you see how my pets despawned, right? Because it cleanses everything that's Daedric, and Orc pets are considered that. If it's still like your first time in here and you're like trying to actually do this, you don't have to full YOLO pull everything.
Destroy them.
But clear the portals because those summon ads. Usually you can dot them, but when you're solo, you can't hit all of them at once.
White Gold Tower is now the gravestone of the Empire.
For glory!
There is one healer over here. Dude, these heavies are so slow. What's happening? I actually thought I was going to kill it faster. That's why I wasn't resetting my dots. The crematorial guards back in the day were a little bit sketch. Especially if you've done Maelstrom in like 2015. That was a fun experience. It was hard.
Victory is cruel. Defeat is worse.
So this is 3 mini bosses. One will stay still, one will do fire, one will drop a banner, and one is like a melee. So
You'll see.
back in the day, we used to focus one because one was like higher priority. Now it's 2024. It doesn't actually matter. Just don't stand in bad.
The scroll is
Kill them before they kill you. Drop your dots.
As you wish.
I think one does still stay still, so let me try to group them up, and then we drop our ult.
That's the way.
I need aid! I'm hurt!
Bash the healer, basically. It doesn't really matter what order you kill them in. It's just which one just happens to get damage first.
For Cliviathon!
think the healer is down and the Dragon Knight. All we have left is the Nightblade, which no big deal. Oh. By the way, spell power here, the set that you get here, is actually still really good for healers, especially in Divine. So this is definitely a dungeon worth running if you want to play a healer.
Smash those rifts or be overwhelmed!
There'll be more portals coming up soon, and it usually picks a random person, but wait, when you're the only one, suddenly it's not so random.
To arms! The Daedra are coming!
What the portals do is they basically spawn more ads in, and is it a big deal? No, but probably should do it. One thing you could do is funnel them into the door, so that way it makes things a lot easier. I've actually, for all dungeons, I've done it on all three roles. I've done healer, DPS, and tank. So I just, you know, it's just over time you pick up on like smaller strats and stuff that hopefully will help you.
A fight? Good.
Gonna be some portals coming out here.
As majestic as it is terrible. I guess it's mostly just terrible. On your guard! Foes approach!
There were 3 portals.
That was hard fought, but there are battles
So back in the
ahead.
day, this upcoming boss, not the Titan, but like the planar inhibitor, it used to be a group stopper, because this one, like, it had mechanics. It still does, but it's less relevant nowadays.
Stay calm. Everything you see is just your mind trying to make sense of merging realities. This won't end well for you, Your Majesty. Leave
Yeah, this one I would consider probably the hardest boss of the dungeon. So the mechanics for it is you see this pinion in the middle. The person who takes it is basically the tank. No matter if you are actually a tank or not, the boss will follow you. And then there's going to be portals that we learned before all around, and then there's going to be ads coming out of that portal. And then every now and then the boss turns blue instead of red, and it's going to do fat damage. So let me just pop the pinion just to show you what it's like. You don't need to actually take it. It's just like the intended way of doing this. So you see how this pinion is red right now? Every now and then a new person would have to take it, and then there's portals coming out, and then later you'll see that the boss turns blue, and then it's like cold fire. Like right now it's going to be turning blue. I guess it will soon. So cold fire is when like it actually does a lot of damage.
She calls her allies.
What you want to do is just really run away from it. I'm pretty sure nowadays it's not too bad, but I just want to show you how you would normally do this fight. Well, like if you had more than one person, you would cycle players through the different pinions, and then so the boss doesn't follow you during these phases.
I can't control it.
That's it, partner. Give them everything you've got.
Death won't stop me.
After her. The time has come. You must face her before she slays us all.
Spiders, dot down, funnel them in.
Let's go.
Oh, we got 2 levels on Bastion today. Let's go.
That's over with, I suppose.
So the thing is, you kind of just want to stack everything onto healer if you can. It's right here. Archer doesn't really move. It's kind of annoying actually, but what are you doing? Oh my goodness. That arrow didn't even go in the right direction. It's annoying because that's a heal puddle. You want to move the boss out of the heal puddle, but he doesn't move. I didn't use my ult there because the boss is coming up soon, and I was not sure if I was able to get my ult up again before then.
Sheath your weapons. The battle is won.
Head through the portal. You are destined to face Clivia Tharn.
So, final boss,
Do you fools
Molekina.
you're dealing with Clivia
This
Thorn?
is,
She
there's
is
4
as close
ads.
to you as the white.
Kill them, and then the boss comes out. There's going to be a lot of mechanics and stuff.
I have the Elder Scroll. The flame verse begins.
This is actually a really cool fight, though.
Die!
There's going to be walls and stuff. If you want to see like the hard modes and everything, I have videos of that as well.
Silence the mortals.
But like on hard mode, basically the walls go faster. There's a few ads coming out, and like the fact that this wall is so slow kind of throws me off. In this phase, what you want to do is kill the ads, right? And then you get knocked down, and there's going to be lightning waves going out, I think. Okay, so yeah, on like veteran and hard mode, the waves are faster and there's more of them.
Reduce the mortals to dust.
Then there's a Atro. You kind of no Atro on normal.
My light.
There's an enemy Atro on vet at least. If you stand into bad when you kill them and they explode, it's still a one shot, I'm pretty sure. If you touch the fire as well, that's also a one shot.
Kill them.
Boss down.
Waited as long as I could before opening this portal. The scroll said I'd be skewered if... Never mind.
So, for that was White Gold Tower.
I'll take this.
And
Follow
we
me.
did the first 2 dungeons. Hope you guys enjoyed episode 1, by the way. If you did enjoy it, drop a quick like. I'll try to do these videos maybe like 2-3 times a week until we finish them. And yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it. So today is Wednesday. Maybe we'll do it like Wednesday, Friday, or something else. I don't know how we're gonna schedule it, but maybe 2 to 3 times a week. Just join the Discord if you want to know when it's happening, or you know, check the link in the description to the playlist and keep that. So with that said, thanks so much for watching. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you tomorrow.